to Molar online classes. So we have started the chapter in mechanical properties of fluids. We are discussing surface tension. So last class we have started the surface tension. Then we will continue the remaining topics. So last class we discussed for surface energy. So after that, next we will see. So today we will start with an important point. So I will consider under note. In this, so let me consider one bigger drop. One drop was there. The drop of radius, bigger drop. This drop of radius value is capital. Now this drop was splitted into n number of identical drops. This n number of identical drops of each radius. The radius of each smaller drop is smaller. Capital R is the radius of the bigger drop and small r is the radius of each smaller drop. Okay, now what happened? What happened to the surface energy? So whether work is needed to be do or whether energy will be released or energy will be needed to supply, that point we will discuss. For splitting of this bigger drop into the smaller drop, when it is split into smaller drop, so what happened to the surface area? Surface area will be increases. So what happened to the surface area will be increases. Arrow showing with arrow. Arrow is indicating increases. When surface area increases, whenever a bigger drop is split into n number of smaller drop, then surface area will be increases. Clear? Then, so work has to be done. For splitting, work should be done. Work done on the drop. The drop, bigger drop will not split by itself. So what happened? Work has to be done. For example, every splitting is occur adiabatically. So what is the meaning of adiabatically? So during this adiabatic process, there is no exchange of heat between the body and surroundings. You study that will get in thermodynamics. Whenever a body, so if the process is going on adiabatically, heat exchange will not be there. So that you know that. Whenever the splitting is occur adiabatically, so that time what happened? So in order to split the bigger drop into smaller drop, so bigger drop utilizes its internal energy. So due to that reason, the temperature of each smaller drop will be decreases. Whenever a bigger drop is split into n identical smaller drop adiabatically, so what happened to the temperature of the each drop will be decreases. Now let me calculate how much work has to be done in order to, so this is here I consider one drop. It may be a liquid drop or it may be any soap bubble. When it is split into parts, how much work has to be done? To calculate the work done, first I will calculate what is the change in area. How much area is increased? That increase in the area, or I can call it as change in area, that is given by delta A. Delta A value, final area minus initial area. So which area was greater? Final. So what is the area of n identical drop? 4 pi into r square into n. Correct? Minus 4 pi into capital R square. This is the radius of n area of n identical drop, and this is the area of the bigger drop. How I will get a change in area, increase in the area? So final area minus initial area. So I am taking, and one more important point here is, so what is that is, whenever a bigger drop is split into smaller drops, but volume will be remains constant. So volume of the bigger drop will be equal to n times the volume of the each smaller drop. Bigger drop volume formula 4 by 3 pi r cube will be equal to n into, so 4 by 3 pi into smaller. 4 by 3 pi, 4 by 3 pi cancel. Then what will get r value? N power 1 by 3 into smaller. This is the relation between radius of the bigger drop and radius of the smaller drop. Are you getting up? The bigger drop and smaller drop radius values are given by this. From this, smaller value can be written as capital R divided by n power 1 by 3, which can be also written as n power minus 1 by 3 into capital R. So okay. Now I want to calculate expression for change in area. Delta A value will be equal to, so 4 pi into small r square is there. Can I write this small r square value as small r is equal to this much now? Small r square value is equal to how much? N power minus 2 by 3 into capital R square into n minus 4 pi into capital R square. Can I write that? So here what happened to r square value? R square value means squaring on both sides, n power minus 2 by 3 into capital R. Then, so what will get the answer for delta A? Delta A value is equal to 4 pi into, if I take the common r square, then what can I able to write is, so this is n power minus 2 by 3, n power 1. So what will get the answer is of n power 1 by 3 minus 1. So this is the expression for work done. Sorry, increase in the area or change in area. Now let me calculate the work done. How much work has to be done for splitting off, so bigger drop into smaller drop. Work done. So we know that work done value will be equal to surface section into change in area. Can I write that? Because we know this. So surface energy or surface tension can be defined as work done by increase in the area. Correct? Then W1 is equal to T into delta E. Then what I get, W is equal to, so T into 4 pi r square, capital R square, into n power 1 by 3 minus 1. So this is the expression for the work done. Even this work done can be also expressed in terms of smaller also. So why I calculated this means initially I know radius of the bigger drop. So that's why how much work has to be done to split so bigger drop into n identical smaller drop, that is given by W. W value depends upon surface tension. Surface tension depends upon the, so that is the nature of the liquid. The value of surface tension different for different liquids, that you know that. So based on the T value, and work done value depends upon the radius also, R value. Work done value depends upon how many number of identical smaller drop. The bigger drop should be splitted. Even that is also important. Okay now? Even I can also express this work done in terms of volume. So what is the volume of the bigger drop formula? 4 by 3 into pi into r cube. Correct? So from this, what will get the answer for this one? 4 pi into r square value will become, so 3 into v divided by r. Okay now? I will take the 4 pi r square value, that is 3v by r. 4 pi r square if I substitute, then what I will get the answer for work done? So work done value will be equal to, so 3 into v into t divided by capital R into n power 1 by 3 minus 1. So this is the conclusion for work done. We get numericals based on this work done. So we have some numericals are there in exercise. So you have to remember in every concept, so question can be asked based on every concept. The thing is, after listening the concept, so you should identify how questions can be asked based on this concept. And this is the concept based on which one? A splitting of heavier bubble, so heavy bubble, into n identical smaller bubbles. So that time what happen? Temperature of the each drop will be decreases when the process is adiabatic process. Clear? So this is very very important thing. Okay. Now similarly we will discuss for one more point, reverse. If n identical smaller drops are there, if n identical smaller drops are merged to form one bigger drop. Last time bigger drop was converted into smaller drop. Now n identical smaller drops of each radius small r is merged into forming one bigger drop of radius capital R. Now this time, so what happens? Surface area, will it increase or decrease? So this time surface area will be decreases. Work will be done. So work has to be energy. Work will be done or energy will be released. During formation, so surface area decrease. Surface area decreases means potential energy decrease. The loss of potential energy will be released in the form of energy. So energy will be released whenever n identical smaller drops are combined to form a bigger drop. Okay. Here also let me calculate. So energy will be released here. When energy will be released, the process is adiabatic process. See. So what happened to the temperature? If it is occur adiabatically, the temperature of the bigger drop. So temperature of the bigger drop will be increases. Are you getting that? The work will be. So why energy will be released? This surface area will be greater. Here surface area will be smaller. So because of that reason, surface energy will be more. Here surface energy is less. So that decrease in the surface energy will be released in the form of heat. So temperature will be increased. Now let me calculate. change in area. So change in area this time. So what is the initial area value given by? Initial area value and final area value. So delta A value, but here which area was greater? Initial area greater or smaller area greater? So which value was greater? So that value we need to write. So 4 pi into surface area value will be decreases. So surface area value will be decreases means, so 4 pi into, here also the same, 4 pi into r square into n minus 4 pi into which one now? Capital R square. Then delta A value will be given by, so can I substitute here? Surface area value will be decreases, that's why this is the final area and this is the initial area. So I can write it here 4 pi into r square into n minus 4 pi into capital R value can I write n power 1 by 3 into small r square n power 2 by 3 into r square. Then delta A value is given by 4 pi into, can I take the small r square common, then what I get? N minus n power 2 by 3. So this is the expression for change in area whenever n identical smaller drops are measured to form one bigger drop. So when I calculate a change in area, how much amount of energy released in this process is given by, that is equal to work done. Work done is equal to T into delta A. So that value will be given by T into 4 pi into r square into n minus n power 2. So this is the expression for which one? Work done or amount of energy released when n identical smaller drops are measured to form one big one. So two cases understood, where energy release, where work has to be done, where temperature value increase, where temperature value decrease. These all points are very important. Okay, so this is one point. Next, but remember each and every point is very important for us for doing of numericals. So next point, the third point. So let us suppose between two glass plates, let us take one two glass plates. Even this experiment you can perform in home also. You take one two glass plates. So between the two glass plates you put one liquid drop. So a liquid drop is squeezed. It is squeezed between the two glass plates to form one film. Between these two glass plates, one liquid drop is there. That liquid drop forming one film. It is forming like one film of thickness value, let me call D, and area of cross section value E. Can you see here? Have you ever observed to separate them? To separate the two glass plates, so you need to apply some force. They will not move one over another. They will attach with each other because of the property surface tension. So what happens? There is a binding will be there between the two glass plates. In order to separate the two glass plates, how much force I needed to apply? That force needed to apply. So what is the surface energy? Surface energy of the liquid film. That surface energy value given by surface tension into change in area delta 2 into 2a. What is the area of the film? A. Why are it in 2a? Two sides are there. This side is there, this side is there. So due to that reason, T into 2a. So work done is a force into displacement. Can I write F into D? Where D is the thickness of the film will be equal to T into 2 into E. From this, F value is given by T into 2 into E or 2 into A into T divided by E. So even this point also very important. Questions are given based on this concept also. So whenever two glass plates are between the two glass plates, a liquid drop is squeezed in the form of one film or layer of thickness value D. How much force needed to separate? So that is given by 2 into A into T divided by D, where T is the surface section of that liquid and A is the area of cross section and D is the thickness. Point understood? Okay, so this is third. Next, so after completion of this, now we discuss the next one definition, that is angle of contact. What is angle of contact? This concept is very important for us for upcoming topics. So, what is angle of contact? So for example, what I will do is I will take one glass beaker. In this glass beaker, it is filled with some mercury. So I will consider one capillary tube. So what is capillary tube? A glass tube whose length is very larger compared with its radius. The meaning is the thickness is very small. So whenever you dip the glass tube, so this capillary tube, inside the container, two possibilities are there. The first possibility, the liquid level may rise or liquid level may fall. So I will consider the case liquid level inside the whenever glass rod is rubbed is dipped into the water, liquid level will rise. So that I will draw only the capillary tube diagram here. So this is of liquid level rising. Here liquid is there, it is rising. It is forming one concave meniscus. What is the definition for angle of contact? If I draw a tangent from the point of contact of solid and liquid, where solid is in contact with the liquid, there I draw one tangent. So, angle made by the tangent, so drawn from the point of contact of solid and liquid with the solid. So, what is the angle made with the solid? That angle is called as angle of contact. Whatever, for example, I will consider one glass plate. So, I will consider one mercury drop. When I consider one mercury drop, if I want to calculate the angle of contact, let me draw one tangent. So, angle made by this tangent with the solid. That angle is called as angle of contact. What is the definition for angle of contact? Angle of contact is the angle made by the tangent drawn from the point of contact of solid and liquid inside the liquid with the solid. Definition bit complicated. It is a tangent drawn. Mercury placed on a glass plate. So it is a tangent drawn. So angle made by this tangent with the solid. That angle is called as angle of contact. This angle of contact is very important in the definition. Angle of contact, generally some of the liquids can wet the solids. Some of the liquids will not wet the solid. You take a glass tube, dip into the water. So glass tube will be wetted by the water. You take the same glass tube, dip into the mercury. Mercury will not attach to that glass tube. Mercury will not, so glass tube will not wet, though you dip into the mercury. That is decided by angle of contact. So angle of contact will play a very important role. So we will discuss this. Now definition okay na? Angle made by tangent drawn to the solid and liquid surface with the solid. That angle is called as angle of contact. So what are the factors on which this angle of contact value depends? Factors on which this theta depends. Theta is nothing but a angle of contact. So angle of contact depends upon pair of solid and liquid. Pair of solid and the liquid. Angle of contact value different for different pair. When I take pure water and gas, angle of contact value is 0. So when I take water, normal water and glass, angle of contact value is less than 90. When I take mercury, angle of contact value will be greater than 90. So which is the deciding factor for angle of contact? So that is pair of solid and liquid. And angle of contact value decided by cohesive and adhesive forces. In theory class we discussed. So when adhesive forces are greater than cohesive forces or cohesive forces are greater than adhesive forces that is decided by angle of contact. So now it depends upon pair of solid and liquid. So second one is it depends upon the temperature of the liquid. Temperature also one of the deciding factor. So the third one is it depends upon the impurities. Like yesterday only. Yesterday also surface tension depends upon temperature and impurities. How does the angle of contact value changes with the temperature? So obviously angle of contact is it arises due to the molecular phenomena, adhesive and cohesive forces. So with increasing the temperature, whenever the temperature value increases, so what happened to the intermolecular distance increase. Because of the increasing of intermolecular distance, so theta value will be decreased. What happened to the theta value? Decreases. Angle of contact value with the temperature decreases. And another one is impurities. Again in these impurities there are two types are there like yesterday. First category, so which are not solvable impurities and solvable impurities. Because of the non-solvable impurities like detergent or wetting agents. Whenever so you add what happen detergents to water, it is not completely solvable. Because of the non-solvable impurities, what happened to the theta value, angle of contact decreases. And whereas for solvable impurities, whenever the impurities are solvable, so theta value will be increases. Like some waterproofing agents will be there. That waterproofing agents, because of adding them, which are completely solvable, they will increase the angle of contact. Okay, so angle of contact, that is the factors on which the angle of contact decreases. Okay, so after completion of this, now we discuss still some more points we discuss for angle of contact. So after telling regarding the capillarity, before telling this capillarity, one more important point here is excess pressure inside a liquid drop. So what is the topic is excess pressure. For example, first case I will consider for a liquid drop. For a liquid drop, let me consider one liquid drop of radius of capital R. You take one liquid drop. So when you blow that liquid drop, will it remain like that in that state? No. Immediately after some time, it will be blow off. The reason for this to blow off is the pressure inside will be more compared with the outside. So external atmosphere pressure. The pressure inside the liquid drop is P1. The pressure outside will be P2. So the reason for breaking is P1 is obviously greater than P2. So what is the excess pressure inside the liquid drop? That is given by P1 minus P2. Can I write it as P, which is equal to 2 into T divided by R. So actually this is in subjective part also, we will derive this. But here now derivation not required. Just you need to remember that formula. So what is the excess pressure inside the liquid drop? That is given by 2 into T divided by R. Where T is the surface tension of that liquid drop, R is the radius of the liquid drop. So here excess pressure value inversely proportional to radius. So excess pressure value inversely proportional to square root of area, because so area is given by area directly proportional to R square. This excess pressure value directly inversely proportional to V power 1 by 3. Why V power 1 by 3? Because volume directly proportional to R. This is the excess pressure inside a liquid drop. Whereas one more important point is for soap bubble. Soap bubble. Whenever I consider a soap bubble, so what is the difference between the soap bubble and the liquid droplets? A soap bubble will have two free surfaces are there. So because of that reason, soap bubble of radius, if I call it as R, so then outside pressure is inside pressure P1, outside pressure is P2. The excess pressure given by P1 minus P2 can I call P, which will be of two types. So why these two types? We will have two free surfaces, 2 into T, 2T by R, which is given by P is equal to 4 into T divided by R. You tell me generally, so soap bubble will blow up faster, liquid drop will blow up faster. So soap bubble. Why? Because the excess pressure inside the soap bubble will be more compared with the liquid drop. So are you getting that? So these are the excess pressure for a liquid drop, excess pressure for a soap bubble. Here also capital T is the surface tension of that soap bubble. R is the radius of that soap bubble. Now let us see some important points based on this concept. For example, I consider one smaller drop and bigger drop. So both the drops are joined, communicated with each other. So communicated with each other, the smaller drop of radius value R1, bigger drop of radius value R2. So that time what happened? R2 greater than R1. Excess pressure here let me call P1, excess pressure here let me call P2. You take, let it be liquid drop or soap bubble. excess pressure inversely proportional to radius. Due to that reason, what happened? So which value is greater? P1 value greater than P. The excess pressure inside the smaller drop is greater than bigger drop. So due to that reason, so air will flow. If it is a liquid drop, air will flow from P1 to P2. Due to that reason, P1 size will be decreased, whereas P2 size will be increased. Okay, na? Whenever a smaller drop is communicated with the bigger drop, the air will flow from smaller drop to bigger drop. Size of the bigger drop will be increased, and size of the smaller drop will be decreased. Okay, na? So this is one important point. Now let us discuss one more important point is, so let me consider two drops of radius value R1, first one, second one radius is R2. Both the drops are merged isothermally. So what is the meaning of isothermally? Temperature value remains constant if they merged isothermally. Isothermally merged. When they merged isothermally, so what happened? Boyle's law value. What is Boyle's law? PV value is constant. When PV constant, now what I want to calculate? These both are merged to form one bigger drop. So bigger drop pressure value P and volume is V. Can I write P into V is equal to P1 V1 plus P2 into V. Right? PV value is equal to P1 V1 plus P2 V. Excess pressure inside the bigger drop. If it is a soap bubble, these are the, I told you just a drop na. So these are the, let us call soap bubbles. Two soap bubbles of radius R1 and R2 are merged. Then what is the excess pressure inside the soap bubble? 4 into T by R. Volume value 4 by 3 into pi R2 will be equal to P1 value 4 into T divided by R1. Volume value 4 by 3 into pi into R1 cube plus P2 value 4 into T by R2 into volume value 4 by 3 into pi into R2. So 4 into T, because surface tension value same. So 4 by 3 pi, 4 by 3 pi also cancel in all the terms. What is remaining is there given by R square. Here R cube is there. R square is equal to R1 square plus R2 square. So what is the value of R is equal to root over R1 square plus R2 square. Point understood? What is capital R? The radius of the bigger drop. Whenever two smaller drops are merged to form a bigger drop, the radius of the bigger drop is given by the formula capital R is equal to root over R1 square plus R2 square. But when we need to write this formula, whenever two drops are merged isothermally, then R value is equal to root over R1 square plus R2 square. Clear now? So next one. Based on this excess pressure only. So what is the next point we are discussing? See the point number. The second one is over now, third one. What about this is one smaller drop is touching a bigger drop. One smaller drop is there of radius R1. Bigger drop is there of radius R2. Smaller drop is touching one bigger drop. Now, what I want to calculate is what is the radius of their common interface. If I draw one common interface, one curve, what is its radius value? To calculate the common interface radius, so let me calculate here pressure inside the smaller drop is P1, bigger drop is P2. What is the pressure difference? You know already, P1 greater than P2. So what is the pressure difference at the interface? That is given by P1 minus P2 is equal to P2. So if I want they are the soap bubble, then P1 value 4 into T by R1 minus 4 into T divided by R2. Both are of same type. Will be equal to 4 into T divided by capital R. Capital R is the radius of their common interface. 4T values cancel. Then what is 1 by capital R? 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. The value of R given by, so R1 into R2 divided by, so R2 minus R1. The capital R is the radius of that common interface. Whenever a smaller drop of radius R1 is touching with a bigger drop of radius R2, then what is the common interface is there? That curve will be there. So what is its radius value given by capital R is equal to R1 into R2 divided by R2 minus R. Point clear? So this is this. Next one, fourth one. Let us consider one smaller drop, smaller soap bubble of radius R1 is there inside a bigger drop, bigger soap bubble of radius R2. Bigger soap bubble of radius what R2. Now what I want to calculate is, so what is the radius of another drop? So one more drop is there, another drop is there, whose excess pressure will be equal to the pressure difference between the, so inner side, the pressure difference between the, so which one here, if I call the pressure inside the smaller bubble is P1, here pressure is P2, here pressure is P3. What I want to calculate is, what is the radius of the bigger drop, another drop, whose pressure difference will be equal to pressure difference between the inner and outer sides of these two soap bubbles, soap drops. I will show you. So what to calculate. So what is the pressure difference across the smaller drop given by excess pressure? P1 minus P2 will be equal to, so that is the value of 4 into T by R1. Similarly, P2 minus P3 is equal to 4 into T divided by R. P1 minus P2 will give you pressure difference across between inside and outside the smaller drop. P2 minus P3 will give you pressure difference across, so inside and outside the bigger drop. If I add these two, add what I will add? So P1 minus P3. P1 minus P3 value given by 4 into T into 1 by R1 plus 1 by R. What is P1 minus P3? P1 minus P3 is the pressure difference across where and where? So across the smaller bubble and bigger bubble. Understood? So P1 minus P3 value will give you. So pressure, excess pressure inside the smaller bubble and outside the bigger bubble. That pressure difference is P1 minus P3. Now what I want to calculate is, what is the radius of the bigger drop whose pressure, excess pressure will be exactly equal to pressure difference between, so in smaller drop inside and bigger drop outside. Smaller drop inside and bigger drop outside pressure value difference P1 minus P3. So this P1 minus P3 value can I write 4 into T by R, because it is also soap bubble. So what is excess pressure formula? 4 into T by R will be equal to 4 into T into 1 by R1 plus 1 by R. 4T value cancel. Then what will be the answer for 1 by R? 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R. Right? Then what is the value of R is equal to, so directly I will write capital R value is equal to R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R. So these are the some points which are related with the excess pressure inside a liquid drop. So are you getting these points okay now? So these are all related. And one more important point. Here formula R1 into R2 by R2 minus R1. Here R1 into R2 by R1 plus R2. When that formula, whenever two drops bigger and smaller are touching with each other, the radius of the common interface is given by that. And what about here is, so whenever, so a smaller drop is there inside a bigger drop. So what is the radius of the another drop of same type, whose pressure, excess pressure will be equal to excess pressure difference between inside the pressure of the pressure inside the smaller drop and outside the bigger drop. So that is the one. Are you getting up? So these are the some points which are related with the capillarity. In the next class we will discuss regarding so that capillarity and capillaries. Still somewhat topic is there to discuss, that we discuss in the next class. After discussing then we will start the new one. Okay na? So thank you.